the children love to look forward to. Anybody want that? I'm going to do? Test time, right? Test time. Nice. But I don't know your body so called test time. Right? So, what happened was the school that Joshua attended, it was overcrowded. Right? So, like all the average parents would have, let's say, 900 children. Right? Let's just say this school had about 2,000 children, right? So, a school size, on one school size, having 2,000 registered children. So, obviously, that's a problem. So, what they did to combat that problem is they would have a shift system. Now, I know for some of us who were, well, back in the day, we are accustomed to junior secondary schools, morning shift, evening shift, that kind of stuff, right? So that's the system that they had in place. So there would be a morning shift and an evening shift. So instead of school running from 8 to 2:30, you'd have a shift from, let's say, from 8 to 1, and the next shift coming from 2 to whatever time. Nice. So to combat the shorter teaching periods, it means you need to have a longer teaching week. This was where the problem started. The school decided that, okay, we're going to have school 6 days a week. So automatically that means 1 a weekend cut in half, and 2, school Saturday, or Sabbath as we know it, is now a normal school day, which was a problem for Joshua and his family, because Joshua and his family were Seventh-day Adventists. So he went home, he spoke to his parents, he explained the problem and thing. So Daddy went and he spoke to the headmaster. And, well, Daddy, when he went to speak to the headmaster, Daddy worked with some priorities and whatnot. And he explained to the headmaster, well, this such and such and such is the case, and Saturday is really the true Sabbath, and he would like to know if Joshua could have been excused from classes on Sabbath. And to the surprise of the headmaster, he really didn't know. He didn't know that Saturday was the true Bible Sabbath. So he gave Joshua permission to be excused from classes on Sabbath. Amen? Nice. So Joshua do have classes on Sabbath. Now that was only at the school level. However, things started to get a bit more complicated because the children, they had to prepare for a national exam. Now the school itself has no jurisdiction as to what day the national exams are going to be on. Now anybody want to give a guess what day the national exam could possibly fall on? Alright, nice. So in order to prepare for the national exams, there was a mock exam. Right? And if Joshua did not pass this mock exam, even though it didn't count in any way, shape, or form towards the national exam, he could have been disbarred from actually doing the national exam, and he would have had to repeat an entire year of school. All right? So Joshua prayed. He and his family, they prayed. And they went and they asked if he could have done the mock exam on another day. All right? So the school, they gave him the permission to do the mock exam on another day, but unfortunately, the national exam itself fell on a Sabbath. All right? And again, through the school, they lobbied and they were able to get he was able to retake the exam on the following school day, which would have been the Monday. All right? Now, his teacher, or the person who was invigilating him for that exam, they was a bit upset. All right? And the teacher couldn't understand why it is he had to stay and just watch the student do the exam. So Joshua asked the teacher, so if the exam was on Sunday, would you have come to invigilate the exam for me? The teacher said no. He said, well, then I will not come to the exam if it was put on a Sabbath. All right? And it so happened that Joshua, he graduated 3rd in his class, right? He got the 3rd highest score in his age group. And well, obviously, he was able to go ahead and go on to the next academic year. Now, even though he was unable to do the exam, he obviously didn't do the exam on Sabbath, right? But he used that as a witnessing opportunity. When his fellow students or classmates would come up to him and ask him, well, why it is, you're not coming to the exams on Sabbath or to the preparatory classes on Sabbath, he would explain to them the fundamentals of his faith and whatnot. And Joshua was in Pathfinder, so he actually invited a couple of them to the Pathfinder meeting. Now, not all of them accepted his invitation, but thankfully 4 of them did. And they expressed such great interest that they are actually in a baptismal class and preparing to be baptized, which is something that That's really great. So for all of us who, now the concept of the story transcends, just children being in school, but for all of us, wherever we may find ourselves, I'm hoping that we'll be encouraged to continue to stand for God and stand for his principles, because in the end, he will always come true for us. Thank you very much.